The United States has always been seen as a land of opportunity, where hard work and ambition can create prosperity. Yet, in recent decades, the promise of upward mobility has weakened as the wealth gap between the rich and the middle class has grown wider than at any time in modern history. This divide is not just a matter of statistics. It has deep ramifications for society, democracy, and the future of the American economy. The numbers behind the divide. Today, the top 1% of Americans control more than 30% of the nation's wealth, while the bottom 50% hold barely 2%. Household income has stagnated for the middle class, even as corporate profits, stock markets, and billionaire fortunes have surged to record highs. The result is a society where wealth is increasingly concentrated at the top, leaving ordinary families struggling to keep up with housing, healthcare, and education costs. Causes of the wealth gap. Several structural factors explain this ever-widening divide. 1. Low interest rate policies of the Federal Reserve. Perhaps the most overlooked driver has been the long period of near-zero interest rates set by the Federal Reserve. While these policies were meant to stimulate growth, they had an unintended effect. They eroded the value of savings accounts and certificates of deposit, traditional tools of wealth preservation for the middle class. With bank interest barely covering inflation, savers effectively lost money over time. Meanwhile, cheap borrowing costs fueled an explosion in asset prices, stocks, bonds, and real estate, all of which are disproportionately owned by wealthy individuals and institutions. In other words, middle-class savings were quietly transferred to the balance sheets of the rich, deepening inequality. 2. Globalization and automation. The outsourcing of manufacturing jobs and the rise of automation have also hollowed out middle-income work. High-skill sectors thrive, while low-wage service jobs dominate at the other end of the spectrum, leaving fewer opportunities for stable, middle-class careers. 3. Tax policies favoring the wealthy. Over the years, capital gains taxes and corporate loopholes have allowed the rich to keep more of their wealth, while wage earners see little relief. Wealthy individuals, whose income is tied to investments, benefit the most when markets rise, further widening the gap. The ramifications. The growing wealth gap has profound consequences. Social fracture. When millions feel left behind, resentment grows, fueling polarization and distrust in institutions. Declining mobility. The American dream becomes harder to achieve when wealth, education, and opportunities are inherited rather than earned. Economic instability. With fewer resources, the middle class cannot sustain consumption, the backbone of the U.S. economy. This weakens long-term growth and resilience. Political influence. Wealth concentration translates into lobbying power and policy influence, creating a cycle that further entrenches inequality. The road ahead. Reversing this trend will not be easy. It will require a rethinking of monetary policy, fairer taxation, and targeted investments in education, healthcare, and housing to rebuild the middle class. The wealth gap is not just an economic statistic. It is the central challenge of our time, shaping the future of democracy and opportunity in America. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos.